Hi guys, I'm going to be talking about the smallpox virus today. The virus name is the variola virus, which causes the disease smallpox. When smallpox was really prevalent, it killed about 3 out of 10 people who were infected with the disease. It left others with permanent scars and even blindness. Since then, it has been eradicated, and no cases of naturally occurring smallpox has occurred since 1977. The last natural outbreak was in the U.S. in 1949. Symptoms of this disease include an incubation period, which lasts about 7 to 19 days. The person is not contagious and has no symptoms at this time. After the incubation period, they have initial symptoms. This lasts about 2 to 4 days. The person is sometimes contagious. They can have high fever, head and body aches, and sometimes vomiting. Then an early rash occurs, and this lasts about 4 days, and then the person is contagious. This rash starts as small red spots on the tongue and in the mouth, and then moves down the extremities towards the hands and feet. After the initial rash, there becomes a pustular rash and scabs. This lasts about 10 days, and the person is then contagious. The sores become pustules, which are sharply raised, usually round and firm. They're like peas under the skin. I'm zooming in to show you guys a picture of what they can look like. After about 5 days, these pustules begin to form a crust and then scab. When the scabs are falling off, the person is still contagious. This can last about 6 days, and they do leave a mark on the skin. Once the infected person has no scabs, they are no longer contagious, and this usually takes about 4 weeks after the rash appears. There are some ways to prevent this disease, but like I said, it's been eradicated. There is the smallpox vaccine. Before a person becomes in contact with the virus, the vaccine can protect you from getting sick. Within 3 days of being exposed, so still in the incubation period, the vaccine might protect you from getting the disease. Within 4 to 7 days of being exposed to the virus, the vaccine likely gives you some protection from the disease. But once you have developed a rash, the vaccine will not protect you. There are no proven treatments for smallpox disease. However, they are working on things, and there are a couple of different medicines that are currently stockpiled in case there ever were a smallpox outbreak again, to just help with the symptoms. This virus is transmitted by people. It can spread directly from people to people, or with fairly prolonged face-to-face contact between people. It's spread with coughing or sneezing, and then the droplets from their nose and mouth spread to the other people. The virus can also be spread through objects contaminated by the sores, so this would include bedding or clothes used by the people that are infected with the virus. It's rarely been shown that smallpox was spread through the air of enclosed settings, and smallpox can only be spread by humans. This is because humans are the only reservoir for smallpox disease. There are no other non-human hosts, which is why we were able to eradicate this disease. Variola is a large brick-shaped virus with a single linear double-stranded DNA genome. You can see a picture of it here. So who's at risk for getting smallpox? This would include people working directly with the smallpox virus, such as in a research lab. People exposed to smallpox virus if it were used as a biological weapon, which hopefully never happens. Like I said earlier, smallpox has been eradicated, so no naturally occurring case of smallpox has been reported since 1977. There are stocks of this variola virus. Following the eradication of smallpox, scientists and public health officials determined there was still a need to perform research using the variola virus. There are only 2 locations that currently hold this virus, and that includes Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, Georgia, and the other is in Russia. Like I said earlier, there is a smallpox vaccine, but it does come with risks, and with smallpox being eradicated, there's not really a need for everyone to take that risk getting the vaccine. It is given by a special technique using a 2-pronged needle that is dipped into the vaccine solution. It's not given by a shot like other vaccines, but it is in the upper arm. After a person gets the vaccine, a red and itchy lesion develops. And I'll zoom in here and you can see that within 3 to 4 days, usually that initial spot occurs, and then it'll grow like a normal smallpox and then scab over. Once it scabs over, the person is supposed to take the scab once it falls off and put it in a plastic baggie and throw it away, so they don't spread the disease to someone else. Alright guys, I hope you learned a little bit about smallpox. Thanks for listening.